And so am I. Welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. A woman who once lived in Oklahoma is a wanted felon for not returning a VHS copy of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. When Karen McBride went to a courthouse in Texas to have the name changed on her driver's license after getting married, the clerk informed her that there was a felony warrant out for her. She says her boyfriend at the time apparently used her card and rented the tape for his daughters to watch and never returned the tape. That was back in 1999. And the movie place in Norman, Oklahoma filed charges against her for felony embezzlement of rented property. After some laughs and a few phone calls, the district attorney's office in Cleveland County dropped the charges. It's only fair since the movie place closed up shop permanently in 2008. Besides, half the employees at the DA's office didn't even know what a VHS tape was. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering where that was going to go.
Pay those library fines.
Yeah, now library fines they'll get you for.
Sounded like they wanted to get her for this.
Yeah. Well, library fines is federal.
Well,
it's government fees.
It was a bench warrant. Yeah. I actually had a bench warrant on me for a time before I joined the Navy. I got a traffic ticket for crossing private property. I got stuck at a red light, cut through a gas station. Policeman pulled me over, gave me a ticket, and I was like days away from shipping out. So I brought it to my recruiter and I said, "Hey, what do I need to do with this?" He says, "Give it to me. I'll take care of it." Just one more lie, my recruiter told me. John,
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
No, he took care of mine.
Oh, you did.
Went to court with me and everything.
What?
Yep, in Red Bank.
Mine totally forgot about it. So I had a bench warrant issued for no appearance. And I went through the Navy, got my discharge, came back to Baton Rouge, was, living my life. I mean, I had interactions with the police. Nothing. Get this. It's like 15 years later. 15 years later, I'm working as a reporter in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Okay? I do an expose story about a judge that's taking payments to rush through adoptions, basically selling babies, right? Oh, he gets pissed off. So he starts digging into me deep. And he finds this bench warrant from East Baton Rouge Parish, has me picked up in Lake Charles on this bench warrant. I spend the day in Lake Charles jail. Baton Rouge has to come pick me up. I get to Baton Rouge too late to go to court. I have to spend the night in Baton Rouge jail. The next morning, I have to appear before the judge. Still, nobody's told me what the warrant was for. It was for that damn traffic ticket.
And what happened?
And the judge got really angry and threw it out. He dismissed it.
Did you tell him the whole story behind it about why it got brought to his attention?
Yeah, I told him that a recruiter lied to me, and he was apparently a U.S. Army veteran, and he completely sympathized with me. Said, well,
I'm sure I told you guys once before.
Time served, case dismissed.
I'm sure I've told you the one about I joined the military, and this was back when the Selective Service started requiring registration. You had to register for the draft. So I joined the infantry. I'm shipped out. I've been in Berlin for a year already. I get a letter at mail call. Hey, Carly. From the Selective Service telling me that I failed to register and that it's a federal offense if you don't register. Now, here's what's funny. It's addressed to Private First Class John Scarborough. Okay. Charlie Company, 6th Battalion, 502nd Infantry Regiment, Berlin Brigade, Army Post Office, New York, 09742.
Oh,
hey, Carl.
That is hilarious. And they didn't even have computers they could blame it on back then.
Well, no, actually, it did have
pure human error.
That was back when they just started putting the barcodes on letters.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You'd think that actually enlisting would
and actually
exempt you from registering for selective service.
that civil service thing didn't come around until after I got out of the Navy when they started that back. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm in the age range, but I've already served. Do I still need to register?
Really?
They said, nah.
Technically, yes, you do, because it's for emergencies. Like, we have to.
Yeah, but you see, I was already reservist. So they already had my information for an emergency.
They still owned you.
Yeah. Well, no, that's U.S. Army. Uncle Sam ain't released me yet. Navy is never again volunteer yourself.
Yeah.
And the Marines, well, hell, they're too dumb to come up with anything for MARINES.
And of course, the Air Force has good lawyers and will get you out of it.
Oh, wait, USMC, Uncle Sam's
Misguided children.
Misguided children. That's right. And, well, it's Coast Guard. It doesn't have anything. Once again.
U.S. almost free for the Air Force.
Which would make the U.S. Air Force Reserve. Uncle Sam ain't fucking around. But
I like that.
And don't wait around to find out.
Oh, I'm going to tell you guys, if you get a chance to get one of these StreamYard cups, it holds 2 of the medium size buttons of Keurig.
Well, we're not tight with StreamYard like you apparently are.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
We're not special.
Well, all you got to do is watch the show on Sunday night and type in a hashtag.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's just like what me and Lewis were just talking about. We joined the military, and they failed to notice that we joined the military. We joined your show on StreamYard, and they failed to notice that we're on StreamYard.
Yeah.
Now I got to type in a hashtag.
Yeah.
I'm here. This thing, this box my head is in, is StreamYard, guys.
Oh, but yeah. So, what has everybody been doing the past month?
Oh, I don't know.
Playing on YouTube?
Little electrical work.
Yeah, I heard about your electrical work.
Yeah.
So everything's synced up?
Yeah, everything's synced up, back in sinus rhythm, thanks to the VA and my Vanderbilt cardiologists.
I thought that's what your pacemaker is supposed to do.
No. Some pacemakers have a built-in defibrillator.
Yeah.
Defibrillators don't help with AFib.
Oh, okay.
They only help.
Okay, so yes, there's no need for a defibrillator in my pacemaker. No, believe it or not, the pacemaker is just to keep my heart rate up enough because my antiarrhythmic medicines drop my heart rate into the 40s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you feel it when your pacemaker goes off? I've always wondered about that.
Sometimes I think I can. I feel a little tingling. I definitely feel it when I go through these, the anti-theft devices at the store doors.
Yeah.
Well, those things operate on an RF frequency kind of similar to the one that controls the pacemaker. So whenever I walk through one, if I walk through it too close, I always try to go right through the middle. If I walk too close to one, I can feel a little tingle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said the little anti-theft things at Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
I actually went through a cashierless Walmart the other day.
Yeah, Fort O went all cashierless now.
I hate it.
Really?
Yes. I mean, you can't. I mean, they've got like 40 registers, self-checkout registers, but there's a damn line out because people don't know how to run the self-checkout registers.
No, I haven't had any problem with that. As a matter of fact, it's the only time you don't have a line at Walmart in Fort O.
Yeah, well, they didn't have any cashier working. Period. None. Everything was self-checkout. But the thing that made me mad is I felt like a criminal because as you walk up, these little gates open up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they close back behind you. And as I realized, once you're in there with your buggy, even if you get mad and leave, you've got to try to fight your way through a line that don't want you in front of them to get the hell out of the store without anything in your hand. Because you can't go back out through those
Wait a minute.
gates.
You can leave Walmart without buying anything?
I've done it many times.
I have too.
Ooh, it's a new concept for me.
I was at Costco Thursday, and they've started putting in self-checkouts at Costco. But they always
Really?
have one. They've got 6 of them right now.
Oh, man.
But they always had somebody in there with a laser gun that would, check. They don't have that person. Every lane, each one of the 6 registers has its own laser gun. You get to run the laser gun yourself.
Ooh.
That's the fastest I've ever gotten out of Costco.
I haven't run a hand scanner since Amazon.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you this. I like Sam's a lot better because you take your phone and you scan it when you put it in the buggy with their app.
Really?
And then when you get ready to go, you put pay now. And then it pops up a little QR code. You just leave your phone sitting there. And you walk up and they say, "Where's your receipt?" And you hold them the phone. They go, "Oh, cool." Bloop. And out the door you go.
You know what I predict? I predict that price tags are soon going to have an RFID antenna behind them. So when they put a price tag on something, it's going to have an RFID. And you're going to have everything in your buggy. And you walk up to the scanner, you hit a button, it goes poof, and scans everything in the buggy at once, gives you a total, and then you take your phone and pay. Skunk?
Yeah, Skunk, what's up?
You're too late.
Well, I predicted this 10 years ago, but
There's already a prototype. Amazon has
oh, that's right. That's right. I did hear that.
Yeah,
but I did.
If you take an item and you walk out the door with it, it's supposed to and immediately charge it to your Amazon account.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through the checkout. The thing is,
just make sure you don't walk out with a lady in yoga pants because you don't want to get caught and pay for her stuff.
There's still that's the problem. They're still trying to work out all those bugs with what happens if 2 people go through the door at the same time, sort of thing. So. But they're still working on it. There's no official storefront yet, but there is a prototype.
Yeah, it's it's in New York City. The problem is,
I thought it was out west.
No, it was
I thought it was out west. I heard there was one in New York
City.
I heard it was in Berkeley.
Yeah, well, the one I was here reading about is it charges you when you take it off the shelf. So if you don't take it and put it back on the shelf.
That reminds me of when I went. I was.
So you can't read the labels anymore without having to buy something?
I went up. We went to a hotel for a convention. I don't remember what hotel I was at. But anyway, we go up there, and I open up the refrigerator, and it's not cold. What the hell is going on here? Refrigerator's not cold. So I figure, screw it, whatever. I'll throw some ice in there, and we'll just use it as a cool box until I can get somebody to come fix our thing. So we threw some ice in there. We threw in our food and drinks and everything. And I closed the refrigerator up, and then I went downstairs and I went to the front desk, and I was like, "Our refrigerator is broken." And they were like, "You're what?" And I said, "My refrigerator is broken in my room. We need somebody to come up and check the refrigerator." And she's like, "Okay, why did you bring a refrigerator?" And I said, "No, the refrigerator in the room." And she was confused. She's like, "I'm sending somebody to your room." I said, "Okay, cool. I'll meet him up there." So I go back up to the room, and I sit and I wait and I wait and I wait. And I hear a knock at the door finally. And I open it up, and there's a maintenance guy. And he walks in. He's like, "Somebody said something about a refrigerator?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my refrigerator's not working." And I open the door up, and I'm like, the only reason it's cold in here right now is because I put in ice. And he started laughing. He goes, "That's not a refrigerator." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "That's an amenities cabinet. We put stuff in there for guests, and if you take the stuff out, it's got an RFID reader in it that'll automatically charge your room. You don't have anything in there because you got the convention rate. So we took all that shit out." And I was like, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why don't you just give us a refrigerator? That's dumb." And he's like, "Well, if it makes you feel any better, there's nothing in there that's going to set it off. So if you want to keep using it as an icebox, I really don't give a shit." And he walked off. I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." So that's what we did. We just kept it stocked with ice to keep our food and stuff cold. And then when I left, I made sure to clean it out real nice, just not to be a dick. But now, whenever I go to a place, I open up that refrigerator or what looks like a refrigerator because it's a black box with a door on it. And I remember we stayed at it was a different. I know this convention specifically. It was in Chicago at we were at the airport hotel in Rosemont, and it was where the convention was being held at. And I remember when I got up there, I saw that black box at like a refrigerator. Opened it up. And when I opened it up there, everything was set in there. It's like bottle of water, bottle of water, bottle of water, bottle of water. And then like there was a couple of canned drinks. There were like sodas, like Cokes. And then below that was like chips and nuts and a few other things. And I opened it up and I was like, okay. And I turned to everybody. I was like, do not take anything out of here because they'll charge you the room. And they were like, ooh, thank you for letting us know because they thought it was free game. Like,
No.
No, they won't charge you.
At
that hotel, though, I found out that hotel, the thing about it was what they did was whenever they would come through and do room service or after you'd left the room, they would count up how many items were left. So that was good to know.
Well, the Dan, you probably saw it at the last Anachrocon, that hotel there.
Yeah.
The little bottle of Fuji water.
Oh, yes. We made sure to leave that strictly alone. I knew exactly what it was from other hotels.
Had a little sign hanging on it. It says, "Here is your complimentary bottle of Fuji water. You'll be charged $10 if you use it."
Meanwhile, they had the same thing in the vending machine for $3.
Yeah.
There was one, I don't remember what convention it was. It was one of the Chattanooga conventions, though. I want to say it was when Chattacon was at the Nugan.
Yeah.
I remember in the hotel room, there was a bottle of water sitting on the counter, and right below it was a little sign that said $2. And I was like, well, I'm not touching that.
Oh, yeah. And it's an oddball size, too, so you can't go replace it with something from off the shelf.
Yeah. It's $2 for a little bottle of water.
Yeah, it's the little...
I went to a Circle K today and a package of Swiss cake rolls, which when I first came to town was 25 cents, $1.29.
Yeah.
One package of Swiss cake rolls. You used to be able to buy a box of 6 packages for 99 cents.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that a lot of places, especially if they're independently owned, will change the prices on the Little Debbie cakes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I shot the Little Debbie's convention one year. I know all their dirty little secrets. If they've got pre-priced and then they've got the ones for the independents.
Yeah,
I understand.
The pre-priced ones,
but $1.29 for one package of Swiss cake rolls.
Yeah. The pre-priced ones,
it's gonna make it real easy to get skinny again.
Because the chocolate chip cream pies, because I'll have those sometimes in the morning when I'm not feeling too good and I need a coffee and I want to eat something with it. I'll get one of those. They're still 50 cents. Yeah.
Oh, skunk! This is something that will be
They don't
of
advertise was
interest.
50 cents, so they advertise was 2 for $1, but it's still 50
Yeah.
cents.
Here's
Yeah.
something that's going to interest you. Any
Is it?
day or night, the 7-Eleven down below the house.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be the Tiger Mart and all that.
Yeah.
Hot pizza that they cook right then and there takes like 3 minutes, $7.49. You can have 3 meat, pepperoni, or cheese.
I do want to point out all the Tiger Marts are becoming 7-Elevens, and I found that out because the one in Ringgold's a 7-Eleven now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the one in Rossville, or not Rossville,
For Ottawa, or Bonnie
not
Oaks.
Ottawa.
Up by Bonnie Oaks Drive.
No. Between Rossville and Lafayette, Chickamauga. The one in Chickamauga, I believe, is also becoming a 7-Eleven.
Yes.
But that's that's the only other Tiger Mart I know of.
See, I grew up with 7-Eleven, so that's old home
Same.
for me.
It's a true story. Me and my sister, when I was real young, before we moved here, still living in Des Plaines, Illinois, on Thacker Street, right next to the firehouse my grandfather worked at. When we get in a little Power Wheels Jeep, and we'd ride the little Power Wheels Jeep down Thacker Street, about a quarter of a mile across the train tracks. As soon as you went across the train tracks, there it was, 7-Eleven. And my dad used to hang out at when he was a teenager. They still had the same Defender machine in there from when he was a teenager. They never got rid of it.
Yeah, Chris Walker just stole my thunder.
Strangely enough,
we went out there and we would go down there and we'd go in, and they don't have this anymore. It bums me out. But when we went in there, they'd have the rack of magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the bottom rack of the magazines wasn't magazines. So they don't have magazines at gas stations anymore. But back then, bottom rack of the magazines was comic books.
Yeah.
And I remember going in there with $1, going to the comic book section. We did this twice. Bought issue 1 and then later issue 2 of Marvel Comics, A Nightmare on Elm Street. And I have no idea where those comics went today. They were lost in a move, and I'm very bummed about it. But I used to have the Marvel Comics Nightmares 1 and 2, the only 2 they ever printed, because after issue 2 came out, parents freaked out about horror comics. Or children are able to just go buy horror comics off 7-Eleven. And Marvel dropped the line. So I used to have a relic, and I don't anymore. I'm bummed about it.
7-Eleven back in the early 70s had a big presence here in Chattanooga.
We got one down here in Ringgold now.
Yeah,
right near the food line.
Said that.
I was just talking about that.
Lewis, have you seen around town? One's out on Ringgold Road near the double red lights. And then at Lee Highway, no, not Lee Highway, Hickory Valley and Shallowford Road, the little crazy looking little small buildings. They used to be called Milk Jug.
The Golden Gallon.
Yeah, the
old Golden Gallon thing.
Yeah. The drive up Golden Gallon, where you would drive up, tell them what you want, they'd bring it out, including your beer. You could buy ice cold beer, drive
and an icy.
And an icy.
Hold up. Hold my finger up real quick, because where was this in Ringgold? I know Ringgold better than that.
Ringgold Road.
In Eastridge.
Oh, Eastridge. Okay. Yeah, Eastridge.
By the way, Skunk, you said you lived in Des Plaines. Isn't that where Tattoo was the mayor?
It's not a joke. I never made that joke. I've always just told people, I was like, look, I don't understand. Why is it Des Moines and Des Plaines? Do you not pronounce it the same way? Is it just because everybody be like, the plane, I live in the plane.
Like the plane. Hey, like the people up north that say Lafayette when it's clearly spelled Lafayette.
Well, I got some folks in Southeast Louisiana that might argue with you again too. And that square in Washington D.C., named for the guy that designed the whole city, Lafayette.
General Lafayette. You don't know who he is, do you? Yeah, he was a guy. He got a street named after him in New York.
Got a lot of things
an
named
entire
after
park named after him in New York.
Yeah, John's got it right there.
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, it's for
My
rent.
brain is fried.
Hey, you can open up your own milk jug store, Joe.
I would love to do that, but
Joe's milk jug.
Dude, wait a minute. No. We gotta open up the photo hut.
Wait, no, skunk. Listen, instead of the milk jug, milk jugs, and have the girls that come out to the car
like Hooters,
tight t-shirts.
Hooters. No, I was suggesting we need to do the photo hut, man.
John likes it.
Open up the photo hut, right? Like the photo hut. Remember the photo hut? You guys remember on that '70s show, the photo hut?
Photo hut. Yeah. The only problem is, see, you could still sell milk and beer drive-through.
Yeah, nobody develops.
Nobody's going to bring
anymore.
you film though.
Yeah. Because I just like the idea of having the photo hut. If Tommy Chong, they're like, hey man, if you see any of these photo huts, I own like 3 or 4 of these things, man. And if you see one, could you let me know? I'll take a picture of it. Wow, man, a picture of a photo hut? It's like art, man. Oh, I love that first time that he's working at the photo hut and Hyde is
there you go.
I was just thinking of that building. It took them forever to tear that thing down.
Did they finally tear it down?
Yeah, they finally tore it down because they need the parking spaces for the Dollar General.
But they
got them a whole 4 parking spaces?
Yep.
I was just thinking about how the freaking in that scene, Kelso pulls up to the photo hut and it's smoked out, right? And Hyde opens up the door, the window, and he's got this big grin on his face. And Kelso's like, hey, man, what are you doing? And he's like, working. And he's like, yeah, I can see that. Would you get in trouble if your boss shows up? And Leo, Tommy Chong, suddenly comes up over behind Hyde and goes, whoa, man, is the boss here? No, wait, I'm the boss.
Has
the photo hut.
Yeah.
The photo hut was one of the best parts of that whole show.
Something just popped into my mind. Has anybody been watching Invincible on Amazon Prime?
No.
It's good.
I don't watch anything anymore.
All I'm going to say is I recommend Invincible on Amazon Prime. I don't advise it for kids. It's based off the graphic novel, the same guy that does The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman. And long story short, the graphic violence in this makes The Walking Dead look like a kid's show.
I had to fix my camera. I accidentally kicked my desk last night.
What are you pulling around?
That's
got me a new teleprompter. You know, I had made my own out of some foam core and an old mirror. Not a mirror, but a lens. But there you go. $69, man.
Ain't bad.
No, that's not bad at all. And it hooks right on the front of the lens.
I like how Chris
slides right down over the end of the lens.
Chris, we know. That's why the photo hut idea wasn't ever going to work. We talked about that.
That was part of the joke. Oh, love Chris. We love you, Chris. Oh,
I have an upper respiratory infection right now, So I have bad brain fog at the moment, which did not make my night because I had to sit there and do sound and audio and all that for freaking TWE tonight. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, how am I more focused than Chris Walker is?
By the way, that is now a barbecue place.
That is okay. Cool. That's Northeast Ridge.
Now you know where that is, Skunk.
I know where the last one you showed me was.
No, you know exactly where that one is and who lives down
just
that road.
Down the street, yeah.
Yep.
There's Keeble. You go down that road and then you make a right. And then on the left, you look for the house that looks like freaking Jordy from Creep Show used to live there.
Sanford and Son.
No. Fred Sanford had a nicer looking place. You look for the place that looks like George LeBay lives there, and he's trying to sell you a '58 Fury. And the guy that lives there even looks like George LeBay.
Welcome back, Daniel.
Although Dutch doesn't have a '58 Fury, but he does have a couple of rundown, beat up pickup trucks back there. So I guess it's kind of the same thing.
And he's got a hell of a Lewis. You would love the camper that Dutch has.
No, he wouldn't.
It is yeah.
He would.
He would appreciate it greatly.
He would. However, remember what Dutch said the last time we were hanging out with him. He's having some issues with it. He's got an Airstream.
No, it's not an Airstream. It is a 1949 Spartan.
Okay. I thought it was an Airstream. But anyway,
yeah.
It needs some work. It's been a little neglected. But to be fair,
it's been well lived in the last 4 years. But yeah, it's got good bones. It's just the interior's tired.
Do I look like I understand the concept of straight anything?
Never.
What's your point, Chris?
I could say for damn certain I'm the queerest man on this show. So. I got into it earlier with some guys at the wrestling show too, because they were having a conversation. I just looked at him. I'm just all like, as the resident like queer person in this room, could we please stop talking about the stuff that's LGBT related? And two of them turned around and raised their hands and go, "Oh, we're in the LGBT community," and I'm like, "What? How the hell am I supposed to know that? You never told me."
Some people aren't comfortable about talking about it yet.
Guess what I just learned?
They were comfortable talking about it. They just never told me. All I heard is they just started saying some words that I didn't think that they were appropriate for them to be saying.
They broke the secret code?
Yeah.
Guys, I word of advice. Watermelon and coffee are not a good combination.
Don't sound like it would taste too good either.
Not the second time, for damn sure.
Joe, you... never mind. Anyway.
Hi, Lewis. Welcome back.
Did you hear that they reopened Roy's Diner in Rossville?
Yeah.
Have you been there yet?
I'm like a month ago.
Have you seen the prices? I don't know, man.
Are they proud of it?
Yeah, they're a little high. I mean, for that neighborhood, I hope they do well because I want to see that old diner survive. But prices were a little hefty.
Back when I was working in that area, I used to stop in there and get the sausage gravy biscuits. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like, remember when Chow Time closed for a little while? And they reopened as Chow Time 2? They were really proud of their prices.
Mm.
They went from like biscuits being like 50 cents to biscuits being like $2.25. And you were like, what? And they got hit by a tornado.
Oh,
well, There is justice in the world after all.
Yes, God smited them.
I will say that
Mike.
last week I went and sat down at a Waffle House for the first time in a year and a half.
How'd that work out for you?
It was a lot more expensive than the last time I sat. They've gone up on their prices too. But
everybody has been going up because transportation problems. Apparently, the lack of truck drivers, is causing some problems. I went to Food City yesterday. In 1 week, butter jumped $1.29 a pound.
damn.
Ground beef, 93% ground beef, was $1.50 more expensive than last week when I went.
But I will say
can I
this
be-
about what I will say this about Waffle House. It don't matter which Waffle House you go to, the scrambled eggs and cheese taste the exact same.
And it's got
Lewis.
the same 5 people working there, no matter where you go.
Lewis.
It's always the same crew.
Yeah.
Two
Lewis,
people,
I'm gonna
three
tell you
people.
something. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Right.
Go ahead.
The reason why there's a lack of truck drivers is not, and I'm brutally honest right now, it is not because they're not trying.
Oh no, I mean, they're paying pretty well.
Holy crap.
I saw an ad, 69 cents a mile. That's pretty good.
No, I'm not, again, no BS. We have been going through so many people at work because just none of them can get their shit together. Literally, my boss has said it to me. She said it to me the other day. She was like, it was. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here. She was like, I don't understand how come you're the only one I can depend on. It's like I used to be able to depend on so many people. Now it's just you. You're the only one that I can fucking depend on. And then literally the next day I was like, I'm too sick to come into work.
She cursed you.
I know, right? I was so pissed when I fucking got this URI. And I thought, I woke up and first of all, I woke up the day before I woke up puking, or I woke up choking and then puking. And then went into work anyway, and I thought it was just allergies. And I woke up the next day and I was like, oh my God, everything hurts. I can't move. I can't breathe. This sucks. I called her and I was like, or I didn't call her, I texted her. She wasn't going to answer her phone at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I can't today. Like, something is wrong. I'm very sick. I'm like, I can't taste anything. I can't smell anything. I was afraid.
You don't have COVID?
I was afraid I had COVID. And she was like, she never responded, but she got the message because she ended up doing my route. She was like, I'm so glad that your route's short because I could actually do it. And I was like, good. Somebody at least covered my fucking shift. But
you got 2 brain tickles, didn't you?
I had to get the first one, and it was COVID, came back negative. And she was like, okay, well, you don't have COVID, so we're going to give you the flu one. Same deal. Shoving those swabs up my brain. Oh my God. And it hurt worse the second time.
Because everything was already inflamed and sensitive.
It was inflamed and sensitive anyway, but the second time it went a little deeper.
Well, I had to get tested when I went to the VA in Nashville. But before they give you a room, they got to know what floor to put you on. If you test positive for COVID, you got to go on the 4th floor, and floor 3 is normally cardiology. But thankfully, I was negative again. So
there's something I want to bring up, right? You think, right, that it's going to go up? I think it's going to go up. If you've never had this happen to you before, you think it's going to go up. Because if you've ever put anything in your nose, right, to try to like dig out something,
well,
go up, right? No, they went in. It goes in. I didn't even know there was space back there for anything. They go in. They go straight in. You can feel it below your eyeball. It has pressure down there. I'm like, oh my God.
Haven't you ever seen
feeling in the world.
Haven't you ever seen when Adam does the drill in his nose? It's straight.
Oh, I mean, I've seen. I said pinhead on Uncle Carl's thing. I screwed up, but it's blockhead. I've seen blockhead acts before, but I didn't realize. I honestly, legit thought blockhead was a trick, like it's a trick nail or something. No, there's a cavity back there that they can go straight into. So I finally looked at a picture, a diagram of what your sinuses look like, and that, you know why they call it an upper respiratory infection? Because there's an upper part of your sinuses and a lower part. They're going to Tekken in the lower part. So that's what they were jamming in there, was in the lower part. So you have an upper part and a lower part. I didn't know that. So I learned something new. And so yeah, anyway, after that, this is the BS. She comes back and she tells me, you don't have the flu either. I'm like, cool. So I already know it's a URI. Has to be a URI. She goes, well, except you have 2 symptoms of COVID-19. And these tests only have an 80% success rate. I'm like, what? She goes, you have the loss of taste and smell and a fever. So you need to quarantine for 10 days, what she tells me. And I'm thinking, okay, all right. So I was going to quarantine for 10 days, but when I left, I was hungry. So I threw my mask on in the drive-thru and grabbed some Taco Bell because I'm like, well, screw it. I'm hungry. I want some Taco Bell because I like Taco Bell. Even if I can't freaking taste it, at least it'll make me feel better, clear my sinuses out some. I got home and I could taste it. And I went, wait a minute. Why couldn't I taste things before? And then it clicked in my head, and it took a minute to click. I have an upper respiratory infection. All that stuff was draining down into my mouth and throat. Why couldn't I taste anything in the morning? Because my mouth was covered in mucus. That's why I couldn't taste anything in the morning. But after I'd washed my mouth out, which I didn't think about doing first before I tasted anything, okay, now this makes sense. Now I can taste it. So I realized, okay, I was right the first time it is a URI. I don't have to freaking do the fucking thing. So whatever. I was fine. I'm not doing the 10-day quarantine or whatever. In fact, I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. I still feel like crap, but and I'm sure I'll feel fine tomorrow. By the time Monday rolls around, I'll be A-okay. But although because I still have brain fog, which sitting there having to juggle about 8,000 things during a wrestling show tonight with brain fog was not fun. I made 2 mistakes that I wouldn't have made if I wasn't so freaking sick.
Well, oh, good grief.
And this light I don't want to have the light on right now, by the way. I have to have the light on in order for me to do this show. So otherwise I'm too dark. And it also makes the background act funny with the green screen and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But that light is freaking bright. I don't like it right now. It's too bright. And these sunglasses suck. These cheap garbage sunglasses I bought at the gas station suck.
You broke your other pair, didn't you?
Yeah. Let me see if these work better.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, wait. These are broken.
Only half broken.
Yeah, this dog will not let me out of her sight. If I go outside, she stands at the door and cries.
That light is so much brighter without sunglasses on. But
Put the
other
keys back on, even though they don't work very well.
Yeah, they just tint everything yellow. Which is weird, because if you look at them, and you guys can't see this. You guys can't see this because of the green screen effect and everything. right? Well, I guess you can kind of see it. These are blue.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the green screen effect, like they're blue. Like if I turn the green screen off, you can see they're blue, right? If I put them on, everything's just yellow. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, let me see if I can turn them around. Can you see how yellow they are on the inside?
Uh-huh.
If I put my hand up right here, you can see they're kind of yellow. I don't know. They're garbage.
Well, that's why I had to use a
my
blue
zipper-
filter on my room lights here because they were too orange.
I don't know
and,
where my super cool light is.
It looked like I was hungover real bad. Even the whites of my eyes were orange. And then I put the blue filter on, and suddenly I'm flesh colored again. So,
I got a whole box of sunglasses. Just give me a second.
meanwhile, back at the castle.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I say I have a whole box
my
of
notebook
sunglasses
finally
here.
came in.
Oh,
I buy
good.
sunglasses all the time. So I have a whole box.
Paper made from stone.
Well, it ought to last.
It is super, super smooth. I mean, if
Very
you've got a good
pulverized.
gel pen or even a fountain pen, just glides right over the paper, and it's tough. It's actually tough to tear it. It's
These are-
almost like
It would
hard
be. It
plastic.
would be.
Yeah, from a company called Karst in Australia.
Which is a
These-
geology term.
Yeah,
These
I
feel
tried to
so much
find
better. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have leaned my head back that far.
I mean, it's pretty expensive stuff, but you know, it was worth it just to try it out. I'm liking it. It's fun to write on.
I remember that movie.
Rocketeer.
My favorite scene is where the gangsters go after the Nazis with the FBI. And,
We
and
may
they
be
both
gangsters, but we're American gangsters.
Gangsters.
Bob.
and the two guys are sitting there. You got the one gangster with the Tommy gun and the FBI guy with the Tommy gun. And they're sitting there shooting at the Nazis, and they both kind of look at each other. And the gangster just smiles at the FBI guy and goes back to shooting Nazis. It's,
Nice to be on the same side
The,
for a
the
change.
enemy of my enemy is my friend.
The day is my enemy.
Ah,
The night is my friend.
Well, just take the night off, man.
yeah.
Don't torture yourself.
Or you could turn off the lights and just do the late night DJ thing.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a guy in the green room that has to do that because his eyes are very, very sensitive to light. I mean, as a medical condition. So he'll be sitting there in the dark, and
turn the light
the
off.
only thing you can see is
What? Look how dark and weird and nasty it looks if I turn the light off.
We don't
well,
care.
it does mess with the green screen, but
But
you know.
it does mess with the green screen though. Look, it's all gray and nasty looking. I'd rather. I want to look good.
He'd rather suffer for his art.
Yes, thank you, John.
That is the mark of a
John, I
target.
can see
You're
through your
willing
elbow.
Yeah, I've got a hole. Right.
Not that one.
I've got a hole in my
that one.
elbow.
It's like
It looks like it hurts.
who's that? Who's that guy? Who's that one guy? John Morrison. Morrison suffered for his art.
Jim Morrison?
Jim Morrison.
The Doors.
I told you I had brain
The Lizard King.
fog.
Yes, we know him.
Why did I say John? John Morrison's a professional wrestler. That's why.
Yep.
Jim Morrison. The Doors.
Yeah.
You know, the whiskey bar guys.
I have that one collectible album that they put out, and I bought it at a cutout bin for like 50 cents.
Wow.
If it weren't scratched up, it'd be worth some money. But
One of the first 8 tracks I ever owned was The Doors Opening to the Sun.
I got a Janis Joplin album in the same shopping trip, and it turned out that was a collectible as well. But these were used records, so that they don't meet any quality standards for any resale value. But it was real nice to be in college and listening to this stuff.
Lewis is checking the time, like he's got somewhere.
No, I got a message from Joe Dog.
I did too.
Oh, Did we?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, he had a breaker trip out.
Oh.
Joe's tripping. His breaker's tripping.
yeah. Blame it on the breaker.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So what does he want us to do?
Don't blame it on mixing watermelon and
You
coke.
know how this is.
Says we'll be back. Says we'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any rude guests, so we don't have to worry about closing down the show just because he's not here.
Well,
I'm not about to
you
explode
would
at
say
anybody.
that. You would say that, but I mean, I've suggested that show before. Look, we could do the show without you. Oh no!
I don't think you phrased that quite the right way. Yeah, Saturday night. Joe didn't feel good. Lewis didn't feel good, and
Thursday night.
Thursday night. Yes, Thursday
Yeah.
night. It is Saturday night. Excuse me. I just had my injection
I had
yesterday, and my
just
brain is
gotten
still
back
foggy.
from Nashville, so I definitely didn't feel good, and I wouldn't have needed my light. I'm providing my own light.
Oh. Lewis glows in the dark.
Well, only after getting 100 joules shot through my body.
You will always be our guiding light.
Speaking of guiding something, I gotta go take a piss.
Okay, guys.
Hi, how y'all?
Oh.
All right.
Well,
Let's see.
did they have to shave your chest to put the front
Yeah.
electrode on? Yeah. That's gonna itch like
Oh, it
crazy when
did.
that starts going back.
It did. The burns itch for about 2 days. I have to keep them covered in cream to keep me from breaking the skin that itches so bad. And then my back itches, so I've got this expandable back scratcher, and I'm like, I'm trying to dig through the skin, but hey, I'm alive to feel it. So
Yeah, it beats the hell out of all the alternatives.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
should have told me, Joe. I could come over and give your house a jump. Just
It wasn't the house. Damn dog chewed on the cord enough to pop a breaker, but not kill himself.
that's
Darn.
lucky.
Yeah, exactly. Darn. Stupid mutt.
And people wonder why we love them so much.
Skunk's taking a bio break.
Oh, okay.
So, got any good news, Lewis?
What serious news?
Yeah, serious news. Like what's going on in Chattanooga?
Well, the mayor has decided to loosen
I meant to
social
ask you
distancing
about that. Actually.
restrictions, so you can gather in parks and stuff. Indoor restrictions are still kind of in place, but you no longer have a limit to the number of people you can have in an outdoor park or whatever. So that'll be nice. That's one more step in opening up the city.
Okay. I'm sorry because I was just actually reading something that's a message on Outside Con. What was that again?
The Mayor Kelly is
Yes.
rolling back the restrictions on outdoor gatherings in the city of Chattanooga.
Good. And what about Coppinger? Is he going to lift the mandate at the end of the week?
I'm pretty sure he's already said that was the last extension he was going to issue. So if he stands true to his word, which he usually does, then that should expire at the end of the month.
And rolling back outdoor. So it's looking like June or late July. We should be back to normalcy.
Well, pretty much like Biden said, July 4th this year may be more normal, certainly more normal than last year, but almost back to normal.
It is, I'm reading something on the news here, but it's market season, and everybody's supposed to. This starts this weekend.
Yeah, the
Everybody's
Chattanooga
supposed to go out
market is open this weekend.
Ringgold's got one too, and
Okay.
Yeah, basically go out and support your local businesses kind of thing.
Yeah. Now the Chattanooga market, they've got about half the number of vendors they did in 2019, but at least they've got some vendors. The food trucks are back, beer and wine sales are back, but no live entertainment just yet. They're hoping to have that by June.
And they're probably going to spread the vendors out a little bit. So
yeah, and that may
that's
be the
common
reason
sense.
they've got half the vendors is they wanted to spread them out.
So Mayor Kelly's living up to some of his promises.
Yeah.
Good.
So
I actually like
He's
the guy.
a pretty decent guy. I think he's going to be all right. I mean, my wife bought a car from him. You know,
Would you buy a car from that man?
I wouldn't because I don't care for Subarus, but
As far as buying a car from him, yeah, I would. There we go.
Okay, well,
Are you tapping?
I got to, man.
Dude,
brain
don't.
is-
it's all right.
look like you
It's
feel
all
well,
right.
so.
Hey,
I don't.
You got to take care of yourself, skunk.
ain't nobody else going to take
Sick
care of you better than you can.
I'm sick and tired of this freaking light in my face, and I don't want to turn it off because it looks like crap. So I'm just gonna go.
All right. Good night.
Tired.
Get to
You're
feeling
thirsty.
better. Can to the forehead. That helps.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
if
I
it's
can't do
gently
it.
applied,
Yeah, if it's like John Belushi can to the forehead, maybe not.
And, I was talking about the soda can incident from Halicon, and a bunch of people freaked out. Thought I was making it sound like Halicon was a dangerous place. Like, that was an isolated incident that happened that one time, and that dude totally deserved it.
That must have been before I started showing up.
No,
Was it at East Ridge?
No, it was in Dalton.
I don't remember it. Y'all
No,
kept it on the
that's
down
good.
low.
It
security
was
handled it. There was no need to bother you.
no security didn't even have to handle it. Well, security handled the aftermath. No, it was Veronica. Man, she freaking handled it. The dude was being a psycho, and he hit her, and then she took care of that. And after that, he was sitting there. He was all in a ball, like, "I'm sorry." She was about to murder him, and then the security showed up because we just found out about it. And then Dutch was like, "Nope, pull his badge. He's out. Get rid of him. I don't care. I don't care if he drives home at this point. Get rid of him." And because he didn't want want anything else to happen. He has been back since. He's still on the banned list, as far as I know.
You're going to have to give me the name later. Carlene says, "Get some rest, skunk. I know she slept most of last week."
Yeah, it's
Aunt Donna has spoken.
John something. I don't remember. I know what he looks like, though. He looks like the kid from freaking Deliverance.
All right.
Anyway, we don't have to worry about that crap no more, though, because we don't. We have a zero tolerance policy for BS at Halicon.
Yep. All right. Good night, skunk.
And since Joe has taken over Halicon, we haven't had a single incident like that. Never, not one.
All right. Good night, skunk. Thank you for being
Why are
here.
you trying to get rid of me?
So you can go get some
I was
rest.
just looking at something that I
Because
wonder
it hurts us looking at you in pain.
I was just
Empathy
watching
is
the
a-
clip. I was just watching the clip of the can machine from Maximum Overdrive.
I remember that. I wouldn't have if you hadn't mentioned it, but now I remember it. There's a reason why Stephen King calls most of the stuff that's been made from his books moron movies.
Anyway, y'all have a
All
good one.
right. Y'all have a good one, skunk. Oh. So they're opening up outdoor events. So we may actually have a nightfall this year.
Yeah. Possible.
With Integrity Subarus all up and down the road.
No, because He doesn't own the Subaru dealership anymore.
If you notice what I said, Integrity Subarus.
No, Crown.
Crown. Excuse me.
Yeah. So and Dale Deason had that ad campaign. He always did the Kelly Subaru ad campaign, and so I was kidding around with him the other day. We were talking about RVs, and I said, by the way, I said, do you are you still going to be doing the Kelly or the Subaru dealership ad campaign? He says, no, man, I'm sorry. Crown has their own agency. I'm like, what? I'm not going to get my folky music fix anymore. And he just busted out laughing because when he and I were on the radio program in the mornings, that was always he would throw that in every once in a while as bumper music. And I was like, that is just the coolest little clip of music, So we had this running joke. So what does he do? After we had that conversation, he sends me this in email.
Okay, quit.
It's not. No, it's not. That's his. He owns it.
Okay.
Just.
Hey, we just got. There goes Facebook. No, just
Believe me, if Facebook thinks this, I defy them to give us any crap about it because I know the copyright owner.
Hey, the problem is we can't argue because there's nobody to argue with. Oh. But on the space news, did you see the 4 astronauts safely arrived to the station?
No, I kind of looked at my feed to see if anything posted.
Capsule.
Yeah.
First time in history.
Yeah.
On a reused rocket and capsule. The only thing new was the trunk and the second stage.
And the astronauts. And even then, one of the astronauts sat in the same seat that her husband sat in the first time up.
Yep. Well,
I thought that was really cool.
From what I hear, their kid is wanting to be the next one in the family to go up.
Oh, golly.
I have to wait till after college. But
it's going to be Lost in Space. It's going to be the family Robinson in space.
Hey.
Actually, it's not the same seat, but the same seat position. The seats are custom made to their body.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So you get to take your chair home and make it into a desk chair because nobody else will ever be able to use
it. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah,
I mean, what a souvenir, man.
I know a guy.
Not only is your suit custom made, but your chair.
I know a guy who makes custom computer gaming chairs out of old ejection seats from fighter planes.
Oh,
okay. But he does specify. I'm pretty sure I removed all the explosives.
Actually, I know a guy that works in quality control for building ejection seats. He gets to set them off and see how far they actually go with nobody in them. No, with nobody in them.
SpaceX has
have about 150-pound dummy in there, or else you're not getting an accurate.
He's been doing quality control for quite some time. I'm sure they've got it rigged up to where it's an accurate representation of what happens when someone actually has to pull the big red handle.
Yeah,
or whatever.
They're yellow and black, actually.
Yellow and
black. Bend over and kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah. He will. Dan and John will understand this. SpaceX has released the files to 3D print the helmets and also the suits, the pattern for the suits.
I wonder if those helmets would be street legal for motorcyclists.
Well, you'd probably have to pat them on the inside, but the question, the thing is, how long do you think it'll be before SpaceX suits will start showing up on the convention floors?
Matter
As
of
soon as
about
the
a
next
week.
convention opens,
Yeah,
because they've had
matter
a
of
year of
about a
not
week
going to
if there was
conventions.
a
They got
live
like money to
convention.
spend on cosplay.
I sat and looked at it, and I'm going, oh, all you need is black rubber rain boots, and then make the suit into a two-piece. Of course, it's all a one-piece suit. They actually get in from the right side.
Right.
And it zips from just above the knee all the way
Oh,
up
that's
to the
awesome.
armpit.
That is an ejection seat from a B-52 bomber.
Stratofortress.
That's one of the crew spaces in the back.
Wow.
If you'll forgive me, that does not look like it's going to be comfortable on a long flight.
Well,
That's-
Air Force wasn't known for comfort.
Yet
None of the
compared to the
services
Army,
are.
they are.
Yeah, really. Their reputation is if the salad bar at the hotel is closed, boot camp is over.
Oh, the B-2 has a space in the back of it. Do y'all remember the folding 70s chase lounge?
Yeah.
The trifold?
Yeah.
I've got a modern version of that. Yeah.
When the B-2 makes one of the long range, they launch their strikes from Whiteman Air Force Base,
Yeah.
fly halfway around the world, drop their bombs, and then fly home. It's like a 29-hour trip. Co-pilot takes main seat. Pilot goes and sleeps 8 hours. When he wakes up, comes over, takes over, relieves the co-pilot. So half the flight, only one person's flying the plane, the other sleeping in the chase lounge.
I've actually heard that the Air Force now has an improved version of that.
They have a futon.
Well, it basically looks like a military lightweight version of a camping chair.
Oh. Your house is haunted, Joe.
I'll be back.
Yep, so will I,
Uh-oh.
but I'm only going to the fridge. I'll be right back.
Golly. Can they trust it with us, John?
We'll find out. Hang on, let's see what kind of mischief I can get into while Joe's gone.
Oh, make sure it's something copyrighted.
Hey, there you go. What I'm looking for here. Oh, I don't know which one's which. Oh no. Darn it. They got both of them. Darn it, Joe. You should have got rid of the old one. I'm assuming this is a new one. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's the new one.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Okay, let's do this real quick. I'm trying to sell y'all something here. All right. Stupid O'Clock and the Armchair Rocket Science are proud members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Hey, the Rising Tide raises all ships, unless there's a really big hole in the bottom of your ship. Okay. Let's see. Sunday, Comics, Chaos, and Sass at 10 p.m. That's a broadcast on Facebook. Monday, never mind the furthermore, at 10 a.m. That goes out on Facebook and YouTube. Tuesday, Clever Title Pending, 8 p.m. goes out on Facebook and YouTube. TED Talks, 10 a.m. goes out on YouTube. See, Wednesday, never mind the furthermore, at 10 a.m. goes out on Facebook and YouTube. Thursday, TED Talks, 10 a.m. goes out on YouTube. Comic Book Spectrum, 7 p.m. goes out on Facebook. Creative as Hail, and you notice I pronounced that right. I'm like,
Yes.
yes. Let's see. That's at 8 p.m. goes out on Facebook and YouTube. Stupid O'Clock goes out
Our very own show.
9 p.m. on YouTube if we're up to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Friday, never mind the furthermore, 10 a.m.
I guess I need to add Facebook back into that.
Can you? I mean, without getting us kicked off of Facebook? Let's see. Friday, never mind the furthermore, 10 a.m. Let's see where it's going here.
Yeah, never mind the furthermore is 10
10
a.m.
a.m.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
See, that goes out on Facebook and YouTube. Drinking with the Davies, 6 p.m. on YouTube. See Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles, 7 p.m. on YouTube. The Historical Fencing Guild goes out at 8 p.m. on YouTube. And Saturday night.
Nick.
And Saturday night, Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. goes out on YouTube and possibly Facebook. If Facebook's working right.
Yeah.
We also have a wild
And
card
at any given time, on any given day, Armchair Rocket Science will air whenever launches are scheduled by NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origin, or the kid down the street with the remote control rocket.
Or that guy in New Jersey with 50 pounds of tannerite who was doing the gender reveal party. No, I don't think we'll actually broadcast that one because everybody else is.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
For more information, visit facebook.com/Rising Tide Broadcast Network.
Woohoo. Oh, hey, Joe, get rid of that old card.
What old card?
The promo card.
The one where all the Facebook and YouTube icons were messed up.
Oh, okay.
Nobody accidentally punches up the wrong one.
I am actually posting something to Armchair Rocket Science right now.
Uh-oh, what did we do?
What did we do?
Does it involve tannerite
launch?
gender reveal party?
For the first time, they're actually doing RCS tests at the construction site and not the launch pad. Yeah, it made quite a few people nervous because there was no announcement.
And consider, construction areas, your dog wants to go out.
She's mad. Let's just say her and the boy dog want to get friendly again.
Yeah, you need another litter like you need a hole in
problem
the
yet?
It slipped up on us.
She was supposed to have been fixed earlier.
Yeah, she was supposed to have been fixed before we got her.
Somebody slipped up on that deal.
Yeah. Yeah, from what I'm hearing, people were, just sort of standing around, and all of a sudden the nose cone RCS started, and people were running in several different directions.
Now, was it really a test or was it a malfunction? They just said, hey, we got test data.
Well, you have to charge it, and nobody saw them charging it.
They were running like their hair was on fire and their asses a catching.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I like that song too.
Oh.
That's a song. Well, he won't never play that one again or any of the others.
I heard Elon Musk is going to be on hosting Saturday Night Live. Is that this week or a future week?
I hope that's a future week because that's the show we won't be doing.
Well, I guess I could put
doing it right now
on in the background here. What?
Mr. Google Foo is already working.
I know.
We got somebody new, somebody named Swag. Thank you for tuning in. Where is Mr. Stretch Dave? I don't understand what you're talking about. Is Mr. Stretch Dave going to join? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so sorry.
Okay. He will be on the show. He'll be hosting on 8 May with Miley Cyrus as a musical guest.
Oh, Mr. Elon?
Yes. And apparently
Apparently,
it's already getting a lot of controversy.
8th of May.
There's been a lot of outcry over it.
Why? Because Miley's on there?
I don't know. I'm reading.
Hey, people choose all kinds of reasons to protest.
Oh, did you hear about
it's legal in New York. He might get on there and light one up, man.
Hey,
did y'all hear about the new Jeopardy host?
LeVar Burton.
well, people have been asking for that for a long time.
Yep.
Is it a temp job or is it going to be
It's right now it's a temp job.
Yeah, everybody's
it's
a
a
temp
trial
job right
run.
now. They're going to take their time and choose wisely.
And I guarantee you, Alex's family will be choosing
Really?
having something.
Alex said in an interview last year he has zero say in it.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't want any say in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What was I going with that? Oh, yeah, they're going to have Mayim Bialik within a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers so far is the absolute worst.
Aaron Rodgers. Who was Aaron Rodgers?
Quarterback for Green Bay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
His voice I couldn't stand it.
There are people like that. There are people like that for
yeah.
Your Cajun accent kicked in.
I'm not crazy about Dr. Oz, but he was good. He held it together. He kept it organized. He didn't have, too much screen time. It was just a good balance. And then who else did they have?
I do not have the faintest idea what those people are talking about.
Oh, Katie Couric. Katie Couric did an okay job.
Yeah.
Carl Whitzman, please check your Facebook Messenger.
We seldom have anybody named Dave, and we've never had anybody named Steech Dave. Unless it was on a night that I was absent, which is seldom, because I have no life.
All right. We do not know who Mr. Steech Dave is. I'm sorry.
Think they may have the wrong show?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible at all.
Yeah.
What are you Googling it now?
Yes. Sort of.
Hey, well, you might find an answer. Maybe it's one of the celebrities we don't know by another name or something.
No, I figured out they're on they're on these Stupid O'Clock YouTube or YouTube page. No, they thought it was Rucksack Gaming stream. No, they may show up here from time to time, but no.
Okay.
Rucksack Gaming. My God. Back when I was a kid, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons all the time. And I can remember walking 3 miles to the hobby store with a rucksack full of D&D books. Okay.
Nowadays, you just put them on your phone.
Books this thick, plus all your other stuff.
I wonder if those are available on Kindle.
What?
The D&D
books.
I don't know. I still got mine over.
I still got mine over here, but
they're up to 5th edition now, and I think some of them are online, but I think they had to scrap some of the artwork because they couldn't get permission from the artist to put the pages with the drawings and stuff, the original artwork, on Kindles.
Well, it's been long enough. Some of those artists may not be with us any longer.
Sure.
Well,
and I'm sorry, but once an artist sells the work, it's if it was commissioned.
There was a big stink when Dungeons and Dragons got bought out. They're up to 5th edition now in Dungeons and Dragons. When they got bought out, they've been bought out several times. And right now they belong to a company called Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Which did the Magic the Gathering cards, and they made a fortune off that thing and bought out Dungeons and Dragons. And they're the ones that have done, I think, the last 3 editions. I think they did 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And they didn't pay those people to use that property, so that I know of.
Okay. Okay. I have someone in the background doing some research for me, and I'll bring it over here to the private chat for you so y'all can see what's going on.
Alrighty.
But yeah. Oh. But the D&D, I hate to throw in my geek card here. I've only played D&D once.
Oh, well, hey, that's more than a lot of people have. So
They told me to go away.
Never.
They told me to go away because I did stupid stuff and got people killed.
oh,
You know, a game, a character they've been playing for 13 years.
And you got their character killed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll kind of upset people.
Yeah.
I gave up D&D after, let's see, I was actually DMing for a local group that had nothing but overpowered characters that nobody else would let them use. So I wrote a script that would take them down to size, and they loved it.
Does anybody know what popping the beep means?
Nope, that's a new one on me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all's comments are getting a little bit to the side that we don't understand what you're saying, and Swag, that last comment is a little worrisome. I don't mean to be rude, but we don't know what you're talking about. And one of our regulars, Bill Sarton, just jumped in on our Facebook side.
Hey, Bill.
And Carl says he thinks it's a video game term. Okay. Thank you. We're old folk. I mean, John's the youngest one in here, and he's 55.
Hey, our video games went beep, 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 beep. Okay, that's...
Hey, one stick, one button, okay?
Oh, come on now. In my best days, I actually had the steering yoke and the overlay for the keyboard. Yeah. I remember that. The first
all you had was a little turn thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Pong is so simple. They've taught monkeys how to play it with their brain.
Yes, without a joystick.
Without a joystick.
Elon Musk's company,
Neuralink
is doing it.
And next thing you know, they'll be running for Congress. The monkeys.
Oh, we've already got some in Congress.
No, these will be smart.
Oh,
that'll never happen.
Hey,
nice.
Have y'all not seen Planet of the Apes? Because this is how we're going to get Planet of the Apes.
Oh, heavens.
Yes, Caesar.
58 generally clueless? Come on, you could specialize. It's never too late.
Specialty clues.
Okay, I just got the I hate to say it.
What?
I just threw the first and now the second we've ever done.
You're going to have to elaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's somebody that is no longer allowed to chat in the room.
Oh.
I don't know if they're still watching or not, but their chatting privileges has been revoked.
Well, they're not germane to our topics.
Yes.
If you want to do something like that, go off on Facebook Messenger. I mean, we want viewers, but we also want viewers who are engaged in our show.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
given the nature of the personalities on the show, adults would be preferable.
Yeah. And then Carl Witzman says they were annoying children. One of them's 13. We're not sure the other one, but they're probably still in middle school.
I have grandchildren younger than that actually, but
this line right here. Who saw the second or the remake of Planet of the Apes?
Oh, me.
How did you love Charlton Heston's line?
Charlton Heston delivering that line in reverse. Yeah. I actually liked that version with Mark Wahlberg. I like Mark Wahlberg. I'm probably in the minority, but
and the second, not the where. Okay, when they came back and created the intelligent apes, the second one, that should have been named Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And then the next one should have been War for Planet of the Apes. But they got the titles all messed up.
Yeah.
Where's the
I really haven't watched any of those all the way through. I've seen the Mark Wahlberg one a few times.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I mean, they had some A-list actors in there, especially Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh, yeah.
She was hot even as a chimp, you know?
Yeah.
But
and actually, believe it or not, the Planet of the Apes, while the costuming and makeup was very specific to that era of filmmaking, they're still good movies. They still hold up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, when Roddy McDowell played, Cornelius, I mean, the prosthetics were way ahead of their time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, David Gerald was an extra in that.
Who?
The writer, David Gerald. He,
really?
wrote Trouble with Tribbles and for Star Trek, and he's got a whole lot of really, really good books out.
Well, what about, who remembers the Planet of the Apes TV series?
Ooh,
that's going back a bit.
Yeah, that's in the 70s.
I remember a cartoon, but I don't remember a live action series.
There's live action series, and
had Roddy McDowell as Cornelius.
Yeah, and they kept running around. They were constantly chased by the general, and they were running around all these human colonies trying to solve problems. So.
And the general was what? Paul Williams?
I think so, but I'm not certain.
Could have been. Yeah.
He's the right size to play an orangutan.
Yeah.
Well, Paul Williams has done a lot of stuff just beyond writing his music, which is amazing. Yeah. When he's hot.
Not Paul Williams.
I know who you're talking about.
Little Enos from Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, that's Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. Oh, okay.
Oh,
you were thinking of Andy Williams.
No, I was thinking.
Paul Williams is a songwriter.
Yeah, they're two different people, though. That's the thing. That's the thing, Louis.
And then Michael Clark Duncan booming out, "You will bow your heads."
Yes.
Of course,
Michael Clark Duncan was outstanding in that movie.
That character was Sheriff Lobo in the movies. The guy that played Sheriff Lobo.
Chet Akins.
Yeah. See, God, am I that old that I can actually remember those characters? Yeah, Dr. Zacharias.
Mark Leonard, the guy who played Spock's father on Star Trek, played Urko. Ron Stein was.
And Maurice Evans played Dr. Zaius. Dr. Zaius, and he was Maurice on Bewitched.
Yeah, Claude Akins. Yeah. Not Chet Akins, Claude Akins. Yeah.
Well, at least you didn't confuse Claude Akins with Chet Atkins. So. I can imagine an orangutan with a guitar.
Not me.
Well, I have a vivid imagination. That's why I write
Perhaps a
science
lute.
fiction.
Perhaps a lute.
Hey, I'm sorry. When I hear when I hear orangutans, all I can think of is Right Turn, Clyde.
Actually, I'm going back into Terry Pratchett for mine. Yeah. Oop. Oh, well, guess I got to turn the book in.
Mark Singer was in that. The Planet of the Apes TV series.
Really?
That was in 1974. How old was he?
Well, he couldn't have been very old.
That explains why I didn't get to see it. My parents were still picking our television programs when I was that age.
Yeah, and like Bill said, it was the series was canceled not because of the rating, it was just too expensive to make.
Yeah,
well, he was 24.
When you've got that kind of a makeup budget, it's going to eat up everything else. I mean, there's nothing left over for visual special effects for the background stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark Sanger, Beastmaster, which he's mostly known for,
Yeah.
also did V.
Mhm.
He was in the show V. But my favorite Mark Sanger vehicle was a little known movie called "If You Could See What I Hear."
I remember that.
Played Sullivan. What was his first name?
Wasn't that about a blind guy?
Yes.
He when he was hearing it, they visualized his hearing like.
Well,
like
he had
echo.
Like
he had
Daredevil's
facial,
radar sense.
yeah. He could manage to get around because he used his face like echo.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, it was based on the true story of God. I wish I could remember his first name. An actor named Sullivan. He was in an episode of MASH, and he was in an explosion, and he lost his vision, and that was the time that I think Alan Alda's character Hawkeye had lost his vision, and so he was helping him through it. Yeah. But anyway, one of the funniest things on that movie was he and his buddies were all drunk and driving around, and they get pulled over, and Mark Singer was driving. You know, he was and the policeman is talking to one of the buddies. He says, You're telling me your friend is blind? Why was he driving? And he says, he's the only one that's sober.
Oh, what was the woman's name?
Oh, you're talking about
the singer
Sherry Belafonte?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Oh gosh, she was so pretty. I'm sure
did you ever see the music video where she was singing with a recording of her father?
No.
They did.
I think you're thinking you're thinking of Nat King Cole's
Nat
daughter.
King Cole. Yes, that's right. I am.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have seen that.
And they did that thing where she sang "Unforgettable" with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was exactly what I was thinking
of. A masterpiece duet, considering that it was recorded after one of them was dead.
Yeah.
And
that's almost like the Keith Whitley, Alison Krauss song, where she sang "Don't." Oh, what's the name of the damn song?
Well, they did the same thing with Lisa Marie and Elvis.
Yeah.
And
I think it was in the Ghetto.
And Hank Williams,
or one of his later songs.
Hank Jr. in Hank Williams. Yeah. A tear in my beer. Yeah.
I'm going to pull up something that I read in the Reader's Digest years ago about life on the job, whatever their life on the job story was.
Joe, do you have a speaker going? We can hear a really horrible echo.
That's not me. If you're hearing me echoing, it's somebody else. Hello?
I've got my echo suppression on.
Well,
I've got my echo suppression on. But.
I don't know what it was. Yeah, when you say nothing
while
at
John's
all.
microphone was off, we couldn't hear the echo. John turned his microphone on. The echo came back.
Okay. Yeah, when you say nothing at all. But there was this North Carolina state trooper pulled over this limousine. And Billy Graham was driving the limousine. What happened was the limousine driver was sent to the airport to pick up Billy Graham. And Billy Graham says, "Can I drive, please? I don't ever get to drive. Let me drive,
He wanted
please."
to drive a limo?
Do what? So
he wanted to drive a limo?
Yeah. Well,
Hey, those things have nice suspension on them.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they also had the turning radius of a battleship.
Yeah. Well, you know, well, that's what got him pulled over is he ran over a curb.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
So the North Carolina state trooper, pulls him over and says, "Can I see your license and registration?" Looks up and looks down and sees it's Billy Graham driving. And he looks at it. He goes back to the car. He sits there for a minute, looks at the license, and just gets up, gets out, walks back, hands him his license, says, "You have a nice day, sir. You're free to go." Well, the supervisor finds out about this, says, "Why didn't you write him a ticket for, the light, the curb and all that?" He goes, "It was Billy Graham driving a limo. I don't care who was in the back, they were going to get the ticket thrown out."
oh,
Oh, phew. Are we going to do an after show?
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't have the gas, but I never do.
I'm running down fast. That's why I'm asking.
Oh.
I know how we're going to do the after show. We're not going to end the stream, but we're going to figure out where everybody's at, and everybody can roll to that page. Oh, that's interesting, Bill. You're related to Alan Krauss? Okay. Well,
she has the most beautiful voice. I mean,
that's where I was going. Bill, your cousin has the voice of an angel.
Literally.
And ain't too damn bad on the mandolin either.
Nope. And she plays fiddle too, doesn't she?
Oh, fiddle.
She plays
mandolin. Oh, okay.
Probably both, yeah.
I remember when
people who grew up in bluegrass and that kind of music play multiple instruments.
Yeah.
And she is awesome in bluegrass.
Oh yeah, well, she's a bluegrass. She for years she used to play that bluegrass festival here in town.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before anybody knew who she was.
Yeah.
Dan, have you ever seen the bumper sticker that has a guy playing? It looks like he's playing the stand-up bass and says "Forever Bluegrass."
Nope, sure haven't, but
they're famous worldwide. That is for the Bluegrass Festival here in Chattanooga. That is over at the Raccoon Mountain RV Park.
I did have one of the guys that was in the garage band I was in back in the day was a distant cousin to Kim Carnes.
Oh, okay.
She's a very nice lady. Interviewed her at the ASCAP party one year. Back when I was covering the CMAs every year.
Mm-hmm.
Interviewed her, and she was living in Nashville at the time, doing a lot of producing. She quit singing, I guess back in the early 90s, and she just stuck to producing and writing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Man of Constant Sorrow. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Where Art Thou?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Great movie.
yeah. I was surprised how much I enjoyed that movie. I expected to hate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because of George Clooney?
No, George Clooney's
Oh.
all right. He's not one of my favorite actors in the world, but he's not objectionable. But I just thought the actual premise and everything. I mean, you know, just the guys breaking away from a chain gang and making good accidentally on the run. It struck me. It struck me too much as somebody had read a rejected script for a Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin movie, and
Well, you do realize what it was based on.
No.
Homer's Odyssey.
Yeah.
Oh.
The one-eyed giant.
One-eyed Cyclops.
John Goodman was the Cyclops.
The three ladies at the creek were the sirens.
Yeah, the sirens. Yeah, it was all based on Homer's Odyssey.
No wonder I enjoyed it despite expecting not to. It's classical literature.
He had to go back. He had to go back and fight for his wife disguised as someone else.
Yep.
Oh.
And
Dan's going.
And the Great Flood.
I'm going. Well, you know that if they carried that on, he pretty much had to marry his mother.
Yeah, well, we weren't going to the Oedipus area.
But yeah, it was. I mean, if you actually read the credit, it actually says based on the
Odyssey.
Yeah, and he calls his wife a succubus.
And then the blind guy that was the blind oracle that was giving him the advice.
Yep.
That would be Homer himself. It all makes perfect sense now that you've explained it.
Now you got to watch it again, right?
Yeah.
It will, yeah. But I'll probably have to buy the DVD this time. I get to see the credits instead of whoever's house I was at switching the channel as soon as it went off.
Oh, I hate people like that. I gotta watch the credits.
I finally got my dad to watching the credits on the Marvel movies.
Well, you got to, because there's always something extra.
Yeah, at least one extra scene, if not two.
And if you don't watch those end credits, you don't understand the next movie.
Right.
I was watching Moana a little while ago. And
that's actually a surprisingly good movie.
It is a surprisingly good movie because there's a lot of adult content in it that it's way over the kid's head, but it's pretty funny.
What movie?
Moana.
The Hawaiian one.
The Hawaiian one.
The Rock.
Disney cartoon?
Big guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And the part I like is he gets hit in the butt with the tranquilizer dart. And he has to lie there and teach her how to run the boat.
Yeah.
And he's teaching her all this thing about how you navigate Wayfarer style.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, okay, says you got to put your hand in the water and see if the current's warm. If you're following a warm current, you're headed the right direction. She puts her hand in the water and says, cold, it's cold. Oh, it's getting warmer. And he's got this big old grin on his face. And she goes, ew.
Yeah.
Okay, I have not seen that one. I'm going to have to watch that one.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus if you've got that.
Yeah.
And I said, they were doing the end credits. They had the giant crab monster, and toward the very end, they knocked him on his back. That's how they defeated him. So he's laying there on his back and he can't do anything. At the very end credit, they go back to him and he's lying there and goes, "Yeah, I'm just lying here. Nobody's going to help me." Says, "I bet if my name was Sebastian and I had a Jamaican accent, everybody'd be flipping me over by now."
Yeah, a little Easter egg there.
Oh, that's a good one.
So you've got Disney Plus. So have you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier yet?
I watched the first episode and was a little lost because they were talking about, after the
snap.
What happened after the
reversal,
Infinity War.
Yep.
And I had not seen that next movie.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't watch any more episodes until I watched the next movie, Endgame, and then everything made sense. But I just haven't had a chance to get back to it. So,
I
but I
can't
am
wait till
going to
it comes out on DVD because I can't afford to buy 72 different streaming services just to get one program off of each one.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Dan, if you'd have bought a Fire Stick instead of a Roku, I could have hooked you up.
I bought what my wife told me to buy.
Sometimes, never mind.
No. Nope.
I love you, Lindsay. I know you check out the show afterward because I've seen some comments. So,
Yeah,
Nope.
that's why I occasionally try to behave, but not
and
always.
we love you too, Denise. We try to keep him in check.
she's just happy I'm alive right now.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine her happiness is pretty much matched and overmatched by yours.
Yeah. That was a rough one.
Oh, heart trouble's nothing to be cavalier about.
I'm just going to pop that up real quick and then drop it down real quick.
Jailbreak.
Yeah, we don't want to be accused of promoting.
All I'm going to say is since we're, broadcasting to YouTube, they are pulling down not just blocking the channel, putting on a suspension. They're deleting the channels on YouTube that tell you how to do that now. I mean, there are channels that have been around for...
Now that YouTube is selling movies, yeah, of course they are.
Yeah.
I mean, there are guys that have 13-year-old channels that are gone.
Yep. A friend of mine in England lost his entire channel because of 3 copyright strikes in the same day over something that was supposed to be public domain, but YouTube did not find the public domain part in the registration for the actual stuff. And
are you familiar with Getty Images?
Yeah.
You've probably seen their pictures every time you do a Google search, something, you'll be a picture and it'll have the little watermark says Getty Images. They went and bought a bunch of photo catalogs, collections and such like this, and that's now their thing. They own those photos. The thing is, they got in trouble recently because it turns out a lot of the stuff that they were copywriting was public domain photos, and they were putting their watermark on it. And if you use the public domain version of it, they were trying to hit you for using a public domain photo that technically they weren't allowed to have domain over.
Yeah, like the doors to the Armstrong Processing Center at Kennedy Space Center, where the astronauts walk out.
Somebody has that copyrighted.
Yeah, and got NASA's video pulled down. Needless to say, that problem got rectified real quickly.
Hey, when you're talking to the company that can literally shut off your satellite, okay.
Or drop one on your house. We have to deorbit this old satellite.
Like,
where's a good place?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
I was trying to read what... Okay, that's why Bill says he's not commenting on YouTube anymore, because he can't comment on YouTube. And he says, now that we're back...
Why couldn't you comment on YouTube? They hate you?
He's probably got in trouble. Yeah, it's getting crazy with the copyrights.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's why I've been trying to do very carefully. If I have something that I want to do music for, I write the music myself.
I wonder who invented the word tube.
In which context?
Like a tube. No, that's right.
No, that goes back to hell. That
So
goes back to
you could sue YouTube.
for copyright violation of whoever invented the word tube.
Archimedes is suing everybody for using math.
Uh-huh. That probably goes back to Roman engineering.
Hey, doesn't Steamboat Willie come up for public domain next year?
Yep.
That's why you should expect to see copyright extended another 50 years. Because Disney's got enough money to buy enough congressmen to make that go through.
And
I'm surprised we haven't seen anybody from Disney in Congress.
How do you know we haven't?
They're there.
Well, we got a senator from Standard Oil, don't we?
And I can guarantee you there's a FLA or there's an FL on whatever office they're at.
Mm.
FL and CA.
Mm-hmm.
They hardly do anything in California anymore. It's the theme park, but I think all the movie stuff moved to Florida
and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Well, the Marvel stuff is all done out of Atlanta, I know.
Mm-hmm. Although they are pitching a fit because of the recent voting laws. So,
well, I mean, when the knee-jerk reaction was bad, but when they actually look at the law and read it, it's workable. It just looks bad on the surface, but it is workable.
And Chris Walker nailed it. There's a reason they moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely, non-union.
You know, when you pay a guy $45 an hour to stand there with a roll of duct tape.
Hey, that's gaffer tape, and it's $20 a roll. I got a roll right here. You see how much is left on it.
And you're going to use it down till the cardboard peels off, and then you're going to try to peel the cardboard off.
Lord,
here's my next new roll, still in its shiny wrap. That's 100-mile-an-hour tape. That doesn't count. You don't get $45 an hour for that. You get $575 a month for that.
No, I was getting close to $1,600 a month. Thank you very much.
When I was in, it was $575 a month unless you went to sea, and then you got an extra $75.
But you got a rum allowance.
I got a third-story bunk with pipes above my head.
What's the manufacturer name on that?
On mine?
Yeah.
3M.
Sure Tape. A&E?
3M?
No, Sure Tape.
No, on John's. 3M.
Oh, 3M for the 100-mile-an-hour tape.
Well, if you live in North Carolina, you make right at $58,000 a year in the Charlotte area
for making the 3M tape.
What?
For using it.
Okay.
So what military unit's paying $58,000 a year? None that I know of, unless you're like an 04.
Gibbs Racing, Roush Racing.
Oh.
What they hold the cars together with.
Actually, my grandson, July 26th, is going to the trade school that's run out of there. And there's a chance that he could work for a NASCAR team after he's done. But even if he doesn't get on with NASCAR, he can specialize in a particular, Ford, Nissan, or Chevrolet or GM, and they'll find him a job as a mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Electrical tape?
A little bit left.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I've got a couple of rolls in the closet that I haven't opened yet because I've still
got
got
the light combat engineers used to hold all the explosives together.
Well, yeah, it tears easily. Well, not easily, but
and it's
efficiently.
It's fairly waterproof.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good for splicing, things of that nature.
One of the guys I used to work with at the factory was part of the pit crew for Bill Elliott back in the day when he was winning a lot of money.
He drove number 2 car?
Number 9.
Number 9?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
Number 9, Coors Racing.
And from what I hear, because I don't really watch races anymore, but his son is now driving.
Look at that. You know,
party like a rock star, John.
I really want to find a sock like that and make a sock puppet so that one day when Skunk's on here, I can just mess with him.
God, I got to figure out which ones I'm going to drop. Bill Sarton, which channel are you watching on, please?
He's watching on Facebook. That's the only way he can comment.
Well, we're broadcasting on 3 Facebook channels, so I need to know
and 3 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
You could have a 4th YouTube channel if you wanted to use mine.
All right. So I just need to know, and Chris is staying on. All right. I just need to know what channels I've got to drop. I think I'm going to drop the personal channels and keep anything with Stupid O'Clock.
The one with the black and white circular clock logo. Keep that one.
Yeah.
Because that's the one the kids were on.
Good night, Carl.
All right. Which YouTube channel? Because I'm going to drop my personal channels, and anything that says Stupid O'Clock, we're going to keep that for.
All right. They'll keep the one with the black and white clock logo on it.
Okay. Bill, if you would jump over to one of the Stupid O'Clock. Actual Stupid page. The stupid. Okay.
I think the meds are kicking in.
Yeah.
We're somewhere near Barstow, I assume.
Well, I washed my tongue earlier tonight, and I can't do nothing with it. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Lewis, thank you for jumping in with us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you. You are an asset to the show.
I'm glad you finished the word this time.
You caught on, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the news guy. Not much gets by me, huh?
All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and everybody watching on the reruns. We appreciate you being here. And to Facebook, all I gotta say is thank you for allowing me to be back. And
hello, boys! I'm back!
I have slit the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up, the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
Ta-da!
And we are strictly on Stupid O'Clock pages now.
All right.
And reason I'm doing that now instead of creating a second link, it's just to allow people that want to stay with us to stay with us, so they don't have to go hunting.
I've noticed that with a couple of other shows on Rising Tide that do after shows, and that way nobody has in the audience actually has to leave.
Yeah. And, in the StreamYard community Facebook page, somebody says, I wish we could have something that could start, that after they end the show, because a lot of good things happen, that they would like to record that unaired portion. And I commented and I said, while it's a great idea with my crew, that we want that to be lost forever.
Oh, so yeah, you want the green room option, basically.
Yeah, we want it lost to history.
No written records anywhere.
And then I said, but it is a great idea, and for some of the other shows that I do, that would be a great option. There's like 15 laughters to that comment. Of everybody going, yep, we agree.
Yeah, we do get a bit rowdy from time to time. Oh, well, in the Green Room Friday, people actually came up with 3 different things that I could not allow myself to reply to.
Okay. Left Dan.
No, I had replies. I just could not allow myself to verbalize those replies, because I would have lost friends. Believe me, it was too bad it was too naughty for the green room, which is, it takes some going.
Yeah.
It is hard enough to gear down from Friday night to Saturday night just to be here without the same level of snark that the green room requires. But I exceeded that level, and thankfully I was not drunk enough to forget to apply the brakes.
Yeah, some of those after shows can get a little.
Yeah, then there are things that I have seen that I would have paid money for as a teenager.
Yeah, Chris Walker says that takes some doing. Yeah, it does. Oh, and I can't believe the damn dog I had to go try to hunt an extension cord. Chewed it just enough that somehow the insulation broke, and when it arced, it wasn't in his mouth, but it arced enough to throw the breaker. And because if y'all noticed, I went away that quick.
Yep.
Probably mid-sentence.
In my house, it would have been a cat that did it. I've got one that goes up to the outlet strip, and she is just rubbing all over that outlet strip. And I'm going, honey, one of these days you're going to flip the switch. At least they're not young enough to be gnawing on everything like they used to.
Bill Sarton says he's sorry he missed out on the green room. Laura and I stayed late at the auction, and I didn't get home till 10:30 p.m. Well, Bill,
Yep.
I'm going to tell you something that I discovered about 6 weeks ago. Roughly 3 miles from the hotel for Halicon, they have a auction that starts up. So if you wanted to come to Halicon, but you needed your auction Jones, we got you covered. And I think this one has a lot of antiques that roll through.
Well, the thing about Green Room Friday night closing down early, nobody felt good. It was just one of those nights where people felt really rough. And it was Ted Davies' 50th birthday.
Yeah.
And he was drinking accordingly. And there were a couple of times when everybody in the green room just sat there and go, Christy's going to get out the rolling pin any minute now.
So that was well, never mind. Let's not talk about the green room.
All right. What happens in the green room
Stays
stays
in the
in the green room.
Yeah.
First rule of the green room: don't talk about green room.
Oh,
But
that's a good story.
But that does explain a post this morning.
Oh,
with a picture.
Well, unless it was a picture of margaritas, I don't know.
It was a picture of scorched earth policy.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I tried. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if y'all could tell it. I felt like crap.
You looked like you were very uncomfortable.
Do I look better tonight? Please,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, you do.
No, like I said, I was helping my son rebuild his lawnmower trailer. A friend of his gave him a trailer. Says it just needs a little bit of work.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You just picked the wrong time to buy lumber is the problem.
Lumber?
Wiring?
We had to put 2 new tires and wheels on it from Northern Tool.
That's about normal for a trailer.
That was $80. The little latch, that goes down over the ball and latch.
Yep.
Well, the latch was laid over like that. So I had to put a new latch in it.
That would go backwards instead of sideways.
That would, it was already laying sideways. But, I checked around for a replacement. A replacement latch and everything was $13.99, but a new coupler was only $9.99.
Well, I guess we figured out which one you bought.
Yeah. And the new coupler wouldn't fit.
Why not?
Because the horrible freight trailer coupler is specifically designed with the bolt holes drilled through it that it will only work on that trailer. Proprietary. So you know what I did?
You got the drill out, probably.
No, I took the bolt off the bottom of the new latch pin and put it in. It was and turned the $9.99 repair kit into the $13.99 repair kit. The $13.99.
By swapping around one bolt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to put new towers on it. Got to working on the lights. The old incandescent 1157 bulbs.
Mm-hmm.
Spent 2 hours working on them. Had about drained the battery dead on my car trying to get the lights working. Got it all working. Put the lens back on. And Brain says, Joe, check it one more time. I told Greg, I said, plug it back up. Go turn the lights on. They weren't working. All we did was jostle the trailer. So $40 later, it now has new lights and wire, LED lights.
Yeah.
LED lights don't go bad.
Well, they do, but it takes a long time.
Yeah. And you really got to screw up to break one.
Mm-hmm. Somehow I figure you'll find a way to manage.
Yeah.
Or John already knows how.
Military started going to LED lights a while back. Yeah, they're tough, but
not military tough.
No, not military.
Well, nothing's supposed to stand up to a 50 BMG.
Well, I'm just talking about pine trees.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what happened is when I went to, rebuilding the sides and everything, my problem is when I sit down on the ground, I can't sit with my legs straight out. My hamstrings,
Mm-hmm.
the nerve damage has affected my hamstrings.
Oh, you commie bastard.
I mean, that's why I can't walk anymore. Walk fast anymore. What was it?
A moth.
Oh.
Oh, well, your green screen is safe from that now.
And what I spent almost 2 hours sitting on the thing with my legs straight, sitting up straight with my legs straight, trying to run the screws in.
I bet you were numb in places you didn't even know you had places to be numb in.
Not really, because I can't feel anything in my legs.
Yeah, my left arm is getting like that.
Well, I got up Thursday morning. When I woke up, I could move my legs. They were fine. They couldn't support any weight. Well, actually, Wednesday. We did it Tuesday. Wednesday, I couldn't stand up and walk. I spent Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in bed. Had to have help to get to the bathroom. I needed if we still had my walker, I'd have used my walker to get to the bathroom.
Yeah, Lindsay traded in that little 3-wheel one that we bought for her to go to the con with because of her sciatica. And she wanted to get rid of the regular walker. I said, no, because I might need it one day. It's staying in the van. It ain't taking up room in a closet. And you don't drive the van, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm keeping that sucker. Yard sale. It was one of those flea market things. But
sciatica? Is that the problem?
That's her problem, yeah.
Tell her don't get the surgery.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've already told her that. Just makes it worse.
That's what happened with me, is my sciatic slipped in between when I had bent over to pick up the Coke bottle. Mm-hmm. The sciatic nerve slipped down between S1 and L5.
And got pinched.
And he had to cut so much to get it loose, get it out. What should have been a 15-minute surgery was almost 3 hours because they had to cut so much away. And dumbass didn't put any stabilization in. So instead of, your spine's a 3-sided joint.
Yep.
He cut this away. It began to fall over and twist.
Oh God.
And of course, when the new second doctor went in and put the stabilization in, the nerve damage was already done. There's nothing.
Yeah, it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've told her, unless it's life-threatening, no surgery.
Okay, Facebook user, I don't know what channel you're on. You're on one of the Stupid O'Clock pages. Again, let me throw up the banner.
There we go.
Yeah, if you would go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, every now you may have commented in here before. About every 2 or 3 months, Facebook deletes the cookie if you don't continue to visit StreamYard shows. So if you would, just go do that. That way we know who you are. But we see you commenting. Hope you are all doing well. We are on the green side of the grass, which is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it was touch and go for quite a few of us the last few weeks.
Definitely.
So, Dan, you've had your second rabies shot, right?
Yeah, yesterday.
How's the arm feeling?
It felt like one of the high school bullies had punched me in the arm this morning when I got up. But
so you played punch buggy with Mike Tyson?
well, no, probably his little brother.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't that bad. You got to remember, my arthritis is so bad. Something's got to hurt a lot before I actually notice it.
Yeah.
When I complain about something hurting, it's gotten to a very, very high level of pain.
Well, Donna and I laid in the bed for 2 days after the second shot. Greg, my son, went and cut 5 yards. And I said, "Does your arm not hurt?" He goes, "Don't hurt at all." I said, "You're not sick to your stomach?" He goes, "No." I'm going, we both looked at him and says, "We hate you. Move out."
You're out of the will.
What about you, John? No, you got the JJ, didn't you?
I haven't got any of them yet.
Oh, you ain't got any of them yet?
No, I just turned 55, so I guess.
Oh,
it's down to age 16 here.
Yeah,
you're in Georgia, aren't you?
Yeah, you're in Georgia. Yep. It's nationwide. Everybody's 16 and up.
Yeah,
and now they're saying pregnant women get it.
Oh wow,
they already got it.
Really
pregnant. What shot?
Yeah.
Say what, Dan? What'd you say? I said the pregnant women.
No. John said the smart remark to that. When I was talking to John and said, go ahead and go for it. It's not bad. Depending on your biochemistry, it can affect people really strongly, and then you might notice nothing at all. But we went to the local grocery store that has a pharmacy, and they had a clinic, and you just walk up, show them the paperwork, sit there for a couple of minutes till they got a free clinician and get the injection. I didn't even feel the needle. Unlike Joe Dog, mine didn't even bleed. So far, neither one of them. I pulled the Band-Aid off. Not one single spot of blood on either one. Yeah. And you'd figure as much as I drank, my blood would be thinner than water. So
yeah. Well, the second one didn't bleed, but that first one, had changed sheet, had a blood stain on the sheet.
But the way the first one went, for 2 days, I didn't feel anything but just a little soreness in my arm where the injection was. Then that Sunday night, right before I went to bed, I felt like I was getting a cold or flu or something. I woke up Monday morning, went to work. No cold or flu symptoms, but it was severe brain fog all day long.
Oh, yes.
And then Tuesday, everything's fine. So
It took when you say brain fog, it's almost like you took that third Benadryl when you should have just stopped it too.
I was thinking more like going to a one of the dirt road parties back in the day at the factory and had the left-handed cigarettes.
Yeah.
It just could not string two thoughts together in a coherent manner.
Yeah.
But thankfully, my lab has a lock on the door, and I managed to sit there and be a vegetable for all day and not screw anything up on the tests that I did do. And then, like I said, the next day, everything's right back to normal. So
it took me about 2 or 3 days. Of course,
yeah.
my immune system's down with my back, and
yeah. Now, Lindsay and I got ours at the same time, first and second, and it hit her like a ton of bricks on the
first one. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's been pretty much, the pain in her arm is much worse than what I'm feeling. And she's kind of delicate at the moment as far as her digestive system is going. She's feeling like she wants to be sick, but there's no reason for her to be sick. I mean, she hasn't had a drink in months, so it's not like she's chugged 3 bottles of wine or something.
Yeah. Oh.
But go for it, John. Hell, it'd be worth it just to be
It
able
won't kill you. Well, I take that back. I take that back. Of course, one thing I heard that when they were talking about the deaths during the testing, so many people died during the testing. Do you know 3 of those deaths were suicides?
Did they know Hillary?
I don't know. 3 of those deaths were suicide, and 5 of them were from auto accidents. But they had to be marked as they died during testing. They didn't die from the testing. They just died during the testing.
Well, you've been in much more dangerous situations than going down to Kroger or Kmart or something and getting a shot. So,
I'm a little pissed about mine, actually.
oh, why is
Where's
that?
my freaking superpowers? I'm supposed to have 5G, and I can't pick up one damn cell signal.
Well, I thought I'd be getting the Saturday Night Grand Ole Opry on Saturday night instead of waiting on the radio to show it on Thursday afternoon. We're so far back out in the sticks. But.
And Bill says Laura's his significant other. 86-year-old dad got the J&J shot 3 weeks ago. Never once had any side effects, and glad it's coming back. Good.
Yeah, there were only 7 cases of those blood clots.
Yeah.
Out of 7 million people that had gotten the injection, that's a very, very good odds right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better than the odds for winning the lottery. And people still throw away, $100 a week on lottery tickets.
Hey, I got a few lottery tickets.
I do too. I don't do the scratch offs. I do the
big money.
Mega Million. I do the Mega Millions and the Powerball, and I spend maybe $6 a month. It's no big deal. I've got a friend at work that will spend $200 a week on scratch offs and the big money tickets and everything. And he might wind up winning $5,000 a week and then not winning nothing else for 2 months. Yeah. I mean, he'll get little amounts, or he'll get free tickets.
Oh.
But he stops at every gas station there is on the way home, and he'll buy a couple of scratch offs or something.
Yeah.
And,
No.
he can't carpool anymore because people refuse to ride with him because they want to get to work or go home, and he's pulling into gas stations getting tickets.
Mm.
But he does win. I mean, he made an extra $20,000 last year.
Well, actually, you can find it on YouTube. I've done a couple of them. I mean, just for poops and grins.
Yeah.
People actually video themselves scratching off lottery tickets. They'll buy $300 of lottery worth of lottery tickets and do scratch offs. They've monetized their page. They've got a Patreon account. And then they've got a donation page, to where their PayPal me link.
Go fund my gambling addiction. Yes.
One has 58,000 viewers.
And somebody out there is going to blame it on fluoride in the water in the 50s.
It just blows my mind. I mean, of course, those scratch off things that I've got have a lot more views than some of the stupid o'clock shows.
Hey. One thing that really annoys me is I keep getting Facebook ads where they want me to pay money to boost stupid o'clock.
Well, you're an admin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I get those all the time.
I'm going, if I had any money, I'd go ahead and buy our own channel, and we wouldn't have to worry about Facebook. Let me win one of those big lotteries, and yeah, we'll see what goes on here. I mean,
oh yeah,
I will actually become a publisher, the one that pays people.
Well, I mean, I look at it this way. When those big games get up over $1 billion, I'll spend $2 for a shot at $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I won't be able to live long enough to spend it all.
I don't know. I'm big into military history. And there's they're trying to refurbish the battleship Texas right now. It's due to go into dry dock and get a major overhaul.
Mm-hmm.
And I want $1 billion in the lottery. They'd be hauling that ship tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. If I hit $1 billion, I would probably be owning the third flying B-29. There's only 2 right now.
Those things had engine problems. Just warn you ahead of time.
Hey, you got $1 billion, you buy new engines.
Now, me personally, I got to think about this today. I was looking at something. The classic Airstream trailers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to go find a B-29 fuselage.
Oh, and make a...
with the big glass canopy on the front and make
that
a
would be
classic
beautiful.
Airstream.
Now, have you ever checked into the
well, there's only one problem with that. Your classic Airstream is 8 feet wide. The B-29 is 20 feet wide.
Yeah.
Be kind of rough getting it down the road.
That's true. We had problems with the combine, and the grain header on it was only 14 feet wide, and that was pushing the limits. And we had to lift that bugger up if somebody was coming at us. Oh, but there are those aircraft graveyards. You could find something that would work.
You can't find B-29s because they were all made out of high-end aluminum at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Guess what the Airstream trailers were originally made out of?
Not the high-end aluminum.
They were originally made. The Airstream trailers originally got their aluminum from recycled B-29s.
Oh, wow.
Of course, that didn't last long. So,
Well, yeah, there were only so many of them made that came back.
There's only a few. And most of them are just museum pieces. That's what I'd do is I'd go buy up a museum piece.
there was a
And
plane
restore it to
over in
fly.
England, and it was a gate guard for years. The problem is they're selling the property, so they got to get rid of this plane. They offered to give it to anybody that could haul it off, and nobody took it. So it's still I don't know if they're just going to scrap it or what.
What was it? How big was it?
It's a bomber. It's one of the old V bombers.
What is that plane out on Bonnie Oaks at the Reserve Center?
I'm not sure. I have to go look.
I don't know what I drove by and looked at it, and the canopy has been blacked out. I mean, it almost looks like they made sheet metal and just painted it black. The canopy.
The local VFW in Athens has a Super Sabre by their driveway.
It's a Victor bomber, I believe, is what it is.
Okay.
See if I can find the story on it here real quick.
Chris asked if it was a Lancaster, but
No,
Yeah.
not Lancaster. It was one of the British V bombers, and it's one of the only ones still in existence.
It'd be a shame if they had to get scrapped. Some museum ought to get it.
Well, the problem is, it is structural. You'd have to go in and fix the structure before you can move it because it's structurally unsound.
Oh. Well, if you had enough money, you could do anything.
Sure.
That's the trouble. Nobody has enough money. Now, one of the first things that I would do is get one of Elon's pickup trucks.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me show you. I found a link to it.
I
And-
like those pickup trucks. They look weird as all get out, but I like them.
Wait, wrong button.
you know, Elon was herbed up and making and playing Minecraft the night he designed that one.
Well, could have been, but you know.
I do love the British designs. They look badass.
And they work.
Yeah.
That one looks. Hey, Thunderbirds are a go right there.
Definitely from the paint job.
Trying to find a picture of the gate. I've seen a picture of it before. I just don't see it right now. The last Victor can be yours. That's the sad part. It's the last one of them.
Oh, like I said, that ought to be a National Trust purchase right there. The government ought to buy that sucker to make sure that it's still.
Well, the problem is they're trying to get them to buy the what's that aircraft carrier? It's the one that participated in the Falklands War.
I don't know the name offhand.
It's not Ark Royal. I'll remember in a minute. But it's the last one, and they're getting ready to scrap it, but they can't scrap it because there's a big drive going on right now to try and save it as a museum ship.
Mm-hmm.
And Britain's real bad about not saving their warships. Is it Ark Royal? I don't think it's Ark Royal, though. I might be wrong.
Now, in Lindsay's hometown, there is the HMS Victory that was sunk and salvaged and put back together. And that is, I mean, you can take tours on this thing and see where Admiral Nelson was standing when he got shot. I mean, and there's the Mary Rose.
Yeah.
And,
Henry VIII ship.
Yeah, and that there's one more whose name I can't remember. But if it's wooden, they'll save it. But if it's steel, they might kind of let it slide.
Well,
which is too
there's
bad.
replicas of the Nina and the Pinta that travel the country.
Yeah, but they're not that big.
They're regular size. They're
Yeah, they're
I
the,
mean,
they're the same size as the
compared
originals,
to an
which
aircraft
were
carrier,
tiny.
they're not that big.
Well, they weren't that big compared to anything else. They were tiny little boats.
yeah. I can't. I sat and I was able to see them when they came to Chattanooga, and they came in. You know JJ, don't you, Dan? You got to
Am
know
I?
John. Yeah, John knows who JJ is when we say JJ. It was when JJ hadn't started his job with the school system. It came to town, and I told him, I said, JJ. I mean, this was after. No, this was when I still had Fridays off. I swung by and I grabbed him. I said, JJ, you got to go with me. There's something downtown I got to show you. He's like, what? I said, I can't tell you what it is, but it's something that you will remember the rest of your life. He's like, what? What? I said, just get in the car. Let's go. He's like, all right. We go down and there's crowds everywhere. He goes, what's going on? I said, something's coming that you will never forget. He's sitting there and he's going, okay, okay. He goes, I know you. You're always up to something, but whatever you do is epic. So let's see it. About that time, here they come around under the Ojati Bridge. He goes, what the frig is that? And I said, that is the Nina and the Pinta. He goes, the Nina and the Pinta. About that time, one of them fired the sounding cannon. For, when they come into harbor,
Mm-hmm.
it fired the sounding cannon, and the Southern Belle gave the return, but it was just with the air horn. He goes, "What is that?" And it's like, once he pulled up and he got to reading the names, all he's going, "Those are the." But they were bigger than that. And the guy standing next to him, he goes, "No, that's how big they were."
Yeah, these are HO scale.
Oh, just so y'all know, I just looked it up. It's the HMS Hermes is the one they're trying to save.
Oh, the Hermes. Oh, sorry about that, guys.
That was just your chair.
Yeah, that was the chair. And Chris Walker's now holding his head, going, damn it, Joe. Poor Chris has been in the firing line a few times. Oh, and he says cool. So Chris enjoyed that.
I don't think that was the exact incident he was responding to.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a delay, so I forgot about that. About the Hermes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I figured it too.
Okay, so that's been my problem all night. I couldn't hear. I thought the right ear was stopped up, and when I went readjusted, it wasn't plugged in, so I plugged the thing all the way in. Now I got Dan in stereo.
Oh, you poor innocent child!
Instead of being over here now, Dan, you're throughout my whole. I can hear you through my whole head.
Allow me to read one of my short stories.
Okay.
Oh, fiddle grunt bugly.
Oh.
Oh,
Did any of y'all see that video memory I posted?
Which one?
About the guy who's poured out his mash and the pig got into it?
Saw it. It got posted again.
Dan, this guy's pig. She looked like she was ready to drop a litter of piglets at any time. Got into his ate all his corn mash.
Well, alcohol is one of those things that will delay a birth.
Yeah, well, got into his corn mash. He was a beer maker, so there was still alcohol in it.
Hmm.
Poor pig was sitting there laying on his side. And he's walks over and nudges her. Hey, are you still alive? She rolled up on her back, and poor problem was she was laying on the side of a hill. No, it wasn't. It was downhill.
She had blown up like a balloon. I mean,
That's going to be one hell of a hangover after that.
He goes, "Oh Lord, he's chasing her downhill." He goes,
down the hill with his cell phone camera.
He's hollering. He goes, "Oh Lord, oh Lord." He goes, "I'm gonna have to stay up all night with this one," because he was having to keep her up, keep her moving, keep her walking.
I've gone through that with some friends of mine from the local bars in Athens after a Saturday night, so I know exactly what he's putting up with. Oh,
Chris says that was funny, but kind of sad too.
well, yeah.
No, Chris, it was funny. It was freaking hilarious.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I have noticed one of the same side effects I had from the first shot. It cleared my sinuses.
I didn't have that problem.
Oh no. The first one is like 4 or 5 days later. I was not being affected by pollen at all. And here I am on the second day, and it's been, hey, it only lasts about a week. But if I knew beforehand this would clear up my sinuses, I'd sign up for one of these things every week just to be able to breathe again.
Oh, pollen has been my bane this year. I'm taking antihistamines for the first time in years. Zyrtec has not affected the. I mean, my Zyrtec's not even helping. I mean, I've rolled into hydroxyzine.
Yeah, there are some times when sinus meds are like throwing bricks in the Grand Canyon. You just might as well give up and suffer. It's a whole lot cheaper.
Wow, guys. I'm sorry I made it 2 hours and 45 minutes. I didn't even have time when the internet shut down on me. That is roughly 12 ounces of coffee. As Arnold Schwarzenegger says, I'll be back.
Yeah, well, coffee in, not quite coffee out. Oh, yes, and I do recognize that, John. That's excellent. Yeah, that's one of the ones in the.
I keep trying to remember her name, but it's one of those British names that's too damn long. And
in the on the vinyl recording of it, they put her name in backwards masked, so they wouldn't get sued by anybody that actually had the same name.
She was actually when Disney did the movie just recently. She was actually in the movie. They actually got Paula Nancy Millstone Jennings. There's a scene where the aliens are first talking to Earth, and they're like, oh, why are you complaining? You've had plenty of time to Yeah.
Yep.
to complain about this. She's sitting at a table in front of a cafe in one of the scenes. In front of it, she's in front of like a coffee shop type thing. She's sitting at a table writing poetry.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, there's so many details in that book. I have finally got to see that movie. Usually, I've only been able to sit through it once without going to sleep. Usually, before the dolphins would quit jumping in the air, I was sound asleep. It might be the middle of the day, it might be the middle of the night, it didn't matter. Then I finally got to watch it all the way through, and I'm going, I'll take the BBC video production, please. I mean, it's not bad. It's just
I like
not.
that one.
It's not bad. It's just not as outstandingly good as the budget should have allowed.
You know, my problem is they went off on that entire the 2005 one from Disney went off on that entire Humakavula story arc,
Mm-hmm.
and just it's like for 15 minutes I was like, oh, they're doing a great job, they're doing a great job, and then all of a sudden it was like, what the hell is this?
Just follow the damn script. It's already been on the radio. It's already been on TV. Just follow the damn script. I was not impressed with their design for Marvin. I mean, it actually performed well, but I just was not impressed with the design.
With what? Sorry.
Marvin,
the paranoid android from yeah.
Oh, from the movie?
From the movie, yeah. That was kind of lackluster there. They could have
did
done
have
so
the
much.
old Marvin in the new movie too.
Yeah, they did have the old Marvin in there.
He was standing in line at the queue.
And which is a shame because the actor that played him is just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
He did
the actual
audio
part
book.
was good. The design for the robot was lacking, to my opinion.
And he is also famous for one of the most famous lines of a movie, or from one of the most famous scenes of a movie.
Several most famous scenes from several most famous movies.
But it's the most famous one. It's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls from the Nakatomi Plaza Tower.
Always.
Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I don't give a damn what you say.
Well, technically, so is Lethal Weapon.
Yes. Because they gave gifts at the end. And I don't know if y'all saw this comment from Chris talking about the pollen.
Oh. Let's see.
Saying pollen has been atrocious this year.
Yes, it has.
And I've got a theory for it.
Okay.
Worldwide pollution was down last year.
Yep.
Which gave the flora beautiful air, fresh air to flourish in. And now they're going to try to make up for lost time and try to reproduce.
Hang on a minute. I was wrong. That was not Paula Nancy Millstone Jennings sitting at the table. That was Douglas Adams' mother.
Playing Paula Nancy Millstone Jennings.
Basically, yes.
Well, And Douglas Adams did have a part in the one that was broadcast on the BBC. At least one part. I think he had two, but the one that was most famous is when he was throwing money in the air and walking into the ocean.
Oh my! That movie was in development hell for over 15 years.
Mm.
You see, they wanted Hugh Laurie to play Arthur, which would have been good.
Yeah.
They wanted Jim Carrey to play Zaphod Beeblebrox, which
Who
probably
is
would have been good. That
Who
would
is
have been
who was Zaphod?
The one with 2 heads and 3 arms.
Oh, okay.
the president of the galaxy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And they wanted Nigel Hawthorne to Slotty Bod Foster. So, Sir Nigel Hawthorne, I should say.
Yes, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep. We are fans of all kinds of literature, and some of it is actually good. And one of the other photographs that I use as a background on the green screen is my hallway bookcase, and there are 11,000 paperback books in my house, and I have only refused to finish 6. Now, there are a few that are like woodworking books and stuff like that. I've got a book on blacksmithing over here I haven't opened up yet, but I'm sure they're not going to be as dull as some of the things that I put down partway through and go, no, I've got better things. I've got better things to read with my time.
Oh, well, it looks like I've got to go delete a comment.
Oh, dear.
Yes, I just got to find out where it's at. Give me just a minute.
You have to delete a comment.
Yes, I have to delete a comment.
Where?
Who said what?
Don't know who said what, but it was. Well. I think it's on the Stupid O'Clock page. No?
Because I didn't get anything. So
Really?
I kept all my YouTube channels running, so. Oh, it had to be, because I got the notification there. Yeah, somebody posted some porn.
Oh.
A porn site.
was it any good?
I don't know. But I just got the notification. It's gone now. Can't find it. So I will have to look for it in a few minutes.
No.
Hmm.
Well, about 5 minutes, actually.
I think he likes doing that.
He does.
I miss a lot of the funky music that we had when we first got started.
Well, these things, they happen.
Your dog's trying to get out the door again, Joe.
Yeah, but the door is closed, so.
Lily, you better not. I know what you're doing. You can wait just a couple more minutes.
Nope, she's looking for Spot.
Lily?
Fussing at her ain't going to do nothing. You got to go take the dog for a walk.
All right, I can't.
They don't live on your schedule. You live on theirs.
Come here. I'll just make Make sure you don't. Oh.
Oh. And all you've made sure is that there's going to have to be a load of laundry run.
Who is that? How could you get mad at that face?
Well, put her on your shoulder, see if she farts in your mouth.
Look at that. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
She winked.
Oh. Yeah, Chris, she turned into a log. That's about the best way you can describe it. She's solid as a rock and dumb as a brick. What? But you love your daddy, don't you? Yeah, I know. Well, I want to thank you guys. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to wrap up this one. Yeah, we're still on Facebook, so yeah, I'm going to do this one more time, just cause I can. Nah, I'm gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide.
Better do it. You done said you're going to do it.
I was expecting Honey Badger the last time Hello Boys came on.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's how it goes. But thanks everybody for tuning in, watching, and staying with us for 3 hours. That is so awesome. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But to Facebook's banning and all that, I just want everybody to know.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Honey Badger doesn't give a shit.